The Supreme Court today came down hard on both Punjab and Tamil Nadu governors after the state governments accused them of delaying action on bills cleared by the assemblies. The bench, led by Chief Justice of India Chandrachud, urged both the governors to not delay the bills that have been cleared by the elected assembly. The Supreme Court, in fact, pulled up the Punjab governor Banwari Lal Purohit for saying he was playing with fire, not giving his assent to bills that were sent to him by the Punjab government. The Supreme Court describing it as playing with fire. Let's just listen into what the Punjab Chief Minister had to say.
गवर्नर साहब दे मैं इज्जत करदा, बड़े ने, मेरे बुजुर्ग ने, मैं सत्कार करदा, उन्होंने लीगली चंगी सलाह ले लेनी चाहिए है। तो मेरा कोई ये नहीं है कि मैं उन्होंने हराता जाओ सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उन्होंने ऐ कहता होगा, तो मेरा जो सत्कार मेरे मन च उन्होंने प्रति है वो उन्ना ही रहूगा। पर क्योंकि मैं स्टेट चला रहा तो मेरा फर्ज बनता है कि मैं विधान पालिका का जिहड़ा कामकार है ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ मैं लोगों ਲਈ जवाब दें। लोगों ने 5 साल ਲਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਕਰੀਏ, ਮਨੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਕਰੀਏ, ਹੋਰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੱਖ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਗਵਰਨਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਈਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣ ਤੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਬਣਦੇ ਰਹਿਣ।
All right, let's go across to Ghazali now for more. And Ghazali, a very restrained reaction by the Chief Minister saying that he respects the governor and that he owes it to the people to get work done. But the Supreme Court had some really tough words for the governors of Punjab and Tamil Nadu over delaying bills.
Oh yes, certainly, and we have observed this trend happening in many opposition-ruled states where the governments have to go to Supreme Court to against the governor's order or not allowing his assent for holding assembly session in Punjab, or like in Tamil Nadu where the bills have also been withheld for approval. But as far as Punjab is concerned, certainly a big shot in arm for the Aam Aadmi Party. They will try to look for some sort of political legitimacy of their cause, that they were being wrongly blamed by the governor. They will certainly try to cut some political eyes through it in Punjab, saying that we are legitimate or we have been found to be true in our cause, and an opposition was, the governor was actually just opposing us or criticizing us for the sake of politics. But we'll also have to check that what comes the reaction from the governor's office or governor's office, that what is his reaction to this entire controversy, because it should also be reminded to our viewers that Punjab governor has been raising the issues of the state, issues related to illegal mining, drug abuse, the fiscal health of Punjab, why Punjab is under so much of debt, and certain all those issues generally, which is generally raised by the opposition parties in any democracy. So that has made the government also very uncomfortable, and there has been many run-ins between both the parties in the last 12 months or since the Aam Aadmi Party has come in power to Punjab. We have seen reports that how before convening any assembly session there used to be exchange of multiple letters between the two parties. So we'll also have to see whether the governor after this rebuke mends his way with the government or not.
All right, the Chief Justice even calling it's something that will lead to a peril of the democracy. In fact, if Bhagwant Mann was very restrained in his reaction, no such restraint from the DMK. Let's listen into the first reaction.
Any man with a constitutional propriety, we have been saying this. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has been pointing out that the governor is acting beyond his jurisdiction. He is acting against the constitution. And now the Supreme Court has taken cognizance.
Well, let's go across to Sam now for reactions there. And we just saw that reaction, Sam, from the DMK. But this has been a huge point of frustration for the Tamil Nadu government with the governor in the state.
That's right, Gargi. More than a dozen bills pending with the governor, and this dates back to at least some bills passed even 3 years ago. And the governor, if he had at least returned, DMK says they could have at least reiterated by sending it back again, but the governor chooses to keep it pending indefinitely, and that's what they say undermines the role of a democratically elected government, and they had to go to the Supreme Court. Most of these bills at the moment pending for assent, Gargi, they attempt to clip the powers of the governor over appointment of vice chancellors to state universities in his role as the chancellor. And even in this, something that's on him or around him, the governor chooses to keep quiet. And in an informal conversation a few months ago, the governor had told journalists that that's a courteous way of saying no. And some of these pending with the governor include recommendation by the state cabinet for release of prisoners who have spent many decades in jail in a premature way, also seeking sanction for prosecuting bureaucrats or officials with allegations, and also former AIADMK ministers on various charges. But the governor has not said. But this also, many say, Gargi, raises questions over the role played by the Rashtrapati Bhavan and even the central government, because in the case of Tamil Nadu at least, even the state government had written to the president asking her intervention to advise the governor to follow the rule book and to abide by the advice of the Council of Ministers. And that's something, again, the court, many say, has to look or may look at that in the course of this particular case. Gargi.
All right. Thanks so much, Sam, for joining us with that. So Supreme Court and Ghazali as well. So the Supreme Court very clear you can't cast aspersions on elected governments. News now from Karnataka, where former Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa's son B.Y. Vijendra has been appointed as the new chief of the BJP's Karnataka unit, replacing Nalin Kumar Katil. This comes ahead of the 2024 general elections and after the drubbing the party received in the state elections. NDTV's V. Raghav sent us this report.
Interesting decision, not necessarily one that was unexpected. In fact, some observers would point out that this may have been the only logical course of action for the BJP, and there are reasons why. This is pretty much a reiteration of the power of B.S. Yediyurappa, the old Shikaripura strongman who remains the biggest power block within the Bharatiya Janata Party. In fact, in the last few days, you've heard some statements coming out of Yediyurappa, including a request to remove his Z category security. All that's interesting. Of course, the appointment of Vijendra is a reiteration and an effort by the BJP to consolidate its core Lingayat vote base, which is absolutely essential as the party walks into the 2024 parliamentary elections. Remember, the BJP had tied up with the Janata Dal Secular, which represents the OBC Vokkaliga caste base. So the hope is that a combination of this reiteration along with the OBC Vokkaliga vote is what the BJP would need to march ahead in Karnataka in 2024 from that decimating assembly election defeat. Of course, the task is cut out for Vijendra. It's going to be a difficult task given the power of the Congress and given the mandate that the Congress had in the assembly elections. One will have to see how this battle plays out. Obviously a big test for him, but a decision by the BJP central leadership has been made. The next decision that the party will have to be making is about who will lead the party in the state legislative assembly. Obviously, it's been a long time since that assembly election defeat, and it was high time that the party took these decisions.
And now a look at the pollution crisis in Delhi, and there's been a huge relief on that front with rain bringing down the pollution levels. There will also be no odd even traffic restrictions in Delhi. That's what Environment Minister Gopal Rai said shortly after the Supreme Court left the decision to the AAP government. Hearing matters related to air pollution in Delhi today, the Supreme Court has asked the centre and Punjab government about what steps they're taking as long-term measures and made it clear that it wanted farm fires to stop.
After 6 days of inhaling poisonous air, Delhi finally gets a breather. Few hours of rain washed away a lot of toxins, improving the air quality in the national capital. This even as the Delhi government was mulling the option of artificial rains.
कल और आज में क्या बदला है जी? बदला है जी, क्या कहता है, कल तो मौसम तो धुंधला सा साफ है। हाँ, धुआं साफ है। अब तो साफ और सांसें कैसे चल रही हैं? सही है, तो काफी मतलब अच्छा हो गया है। पहले बहुत धुंधला सा था, आज थोड़ा सा अच्छा लग रहा है। सांस लेने में दिक्कत हो रही थी पहले बहुत दिक्कत सी हो रही थी, बिजली में फंस रहा था, काला सा निकल रहा था।
Besides providing relief to residents in the national capital region, it's also allowed the Delhi government to hit the pause mode on their odd even scheme plans.
रात से मौसम में जो परिवर्तन हुआ है बारिश के कारण, हवा की गति बढ़ने के कारण लगातार प्रदूषण के स्तर में सुधार देखा जा रहा है। इसको देखते हुए अभी सरकार ने निर्णय लिया है कि 13 तारीख से 20 तारीख तक का ऑड इवन दिल्ली में लागू करने का जो फैसला था उसे पोस्टपोन किया जा रहा है। दिवाली के बाद दिल्ली के प्रदूषण की स्थितियों की समीक्षा की जाएगी.
The Supreme Court meanwhile said that all states must come up with practical solutions to reduce pollution. It also put the onus on the state chief secretaries, warning that if they fail to address the issue, they will be summoned to court. At the end of the hearing, the court made its position clear that the states are open to using a bit of carrot and stick method to reduce farm fires and pollution in Delhi. But the mandate is that the levels must go down. With Sunil Prabhu and Sharat Sharma, NDTV Bureau Report.
All right, as multiple governments strategize on pollution, we think it's time for a citizens campaign, and we're asking you, what are some of the steps that governments can take or what citizens can do themselves to reduce pollution? And here's a look at some of your suggestions that have been received by us. Amudhan Azhahan says that implementation of policies should be better. R.P. Kapoor from Gurugram says change timing of sowing and harvesting crops. Now that's something that's going to take a huge effort. Vijay Srivastava from Delhi says invest to find better tech to get rid of stubble. And this is a point that NDTV has been raising for quite some time. R.P. Yadav from Bareilly says the government should purchase stubble from farmers. So clearly that farm fires issue needs to be resolved, and that's something the Supreme Court has said as well, that we need a long-term solution to the farm fires. Well, now an alarming story from Uttar Pradesh. A government hospital doctor was arrested in Etawah for allegedly implanting substandard pacemakers in patients who were suffering from heart problems and overcharging them. Out of 600 patients that he operated on, 250 got substandard or fake pacemakers, and some of the patients even died.
Mohammed Tahir lost his wife due to the shocking medical negligence of this doctor. Dr. Sameer Saraf, who worked at the Safai Medical College in Uttar Pradesh, has been arrested for allegedly installing fake and low-grade pacemakers. He operated on over 600 patients and installed pacemakers, out of which investigation shows that at least 250 of them were fake.
इनके द्वारा पेसमेकर जो मरीजों को लगाए जाते थे, उसमें डुप्लीकेट पेसमेकर लगाने जाने की बात विवेचना से पाई गई है. साथ ही साथ विदेश यात्राएं करने तथा विभिन्न कंपनियों के माध्यम से जो सामान, जो मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट्स वगैरह खरीदे जाते थे, उनमें भी उन्होंने जो है कुछ न कुछ अनियमितता बरती थी.
Dr. Saraf would not just install fake pacemakers, but also charge 9 times more than what was the actual amount. Mohammed Tahir is one such victim. On the 12th June 2019, Advocate Mohammed Tahir's 46-year-old wife Reshma Begum started feeling uneasy and was rushed to the Safai Medical University. She was taken to the operation theatre and a pacemaker was installed. But even after spending so much money, Reshma Begum could not be saved.
डॉक्टर समीर शराफ ने पेसमेकर के लिए एडवाइस किया था और अल्टीमेटली उन्होंने लगा भी दिया था वो, और पेसमेकर उनका 2 महीने काम किया. उन्होंने कहा था कि ये बेस्ट पेसमेकर है, 20 साल इसका कुछ भी नहीं होना है, आप पेसमेकर आराम से लगवा लीजिए.
Aurangabad resident Mohammed Naseem also alleges that his wife Najma Parveen lost her life due to Dr. Saraf's negligence.
तो डॉक्टर समीर सर उन्होंने फ़ौरन मतलब देखा, देखने के बाद में उन्होंने भर्ती कर लिया. उन्होंने कहा कि इनके आईसीडी मशीन पड़ेगी और आईसीडी मशीन जो है 4 लाख की आएगी, इससे कम नहीं आएगी, और हम तो बिल्कुल एक तरह से बर्बाद से हो गए.
Police is probing whether there is a larger nexus involved and which company was supplying the fake pacemakers to Saraf. With Arshad Jamal in Etawah, NDTV Bureau Report.
All right, in other news now, the 5th India-US 2+2 ministerial meeting took place in Delhi today, attended by Anthony Blinken and Lloyd Austin. The discussion covered defense and other sectors, while there was also talk on the Israel-Hamas war.
The 5th India-US 2+2 ministerial meeting in Delhi, in the backdrop of 2 conflicts, Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Hamas, discussions also covered defense and other sectors.
It's always wonderful to be in India. We're building on a rather remarkable year of engagement, and I think it's just evidence of the fact that we have not only the strongest bilateral partnership we've ever had, but also a regional one and indeed a global one. And that was further evidenced by India's leadership of the G20 this year.
The US Secretary of State has toured the Middle East and West Asia in an effort to prevent any escalation of Israel-Hamas conflict. India too has stakes in the region, like trade, security and people-to-people ties. So the effort for peace is a common goal.
From India's perspective, we have always stood for a two-state solution. When the current hostility started, India put out a tweet condemning the horrific terrorist attacks on Israel on October 7. And we have always advocated zero tolerance for terrorism.
Challenges in the Indo-Pacific region were also discussed, as was Taiwan.
Our partnership is critical for ensuring a free, open and rules-bound Indo-Pacific region. We look forward to closely working with the US across the domains of defense for capacity building and a widening partnership which can address emerging challenges.
Both sides agree the state visit of Prime Minister Modi to the US has given a fresh thrust to the India-US ties.
Highlight this year was the Prime Minister's historic state visit to the United States in June, which has truly opened a new chapter in our relationship. President Biden's visit to Delhi in September contributed immensely as well to the positive trajectory of our ties. His support was key to ensuring productive outcomes at the G20 summit.
While the Canada probe into Niger's killing did come up in talks, there was no mention of the Indian Navy veterans on death row in Qatar.
We have core security concerns, and I'm sure you're all aware of the recent video that has surfaced from one such individual, which poses I think it was a Pathan Singh Pannu's video, which presents a very serious security concern for the Indian interest, and we have made our position very, very clear to our friends and partners, and I think they understand and appreciate that sense of where India comes from.
Defense talks are on track, but no announcements were made yet. In Delhi, Kadamini Sharma for NDTV.
Festival news now, and today is Dhanteras ahead of Diwali, and in many cities a rush to the markets as people are buying metal items. Dhanteras is when shoppers are drawn to investing in precious metals, and jewellery and gold coins are in big demand. NDTV Saurav reports from Kolkata.
Dhanteras in a way kicks off Diwali celebrations, and of course one of the most significant parts of Dhanteras is the belief that it is auspicious to buy gold or silver or any other metal in some form, and which is why jewelry shops across the country will remain open as people make a beeline at jewelry shops to buy jewelry or gold or metal on this auspicious occasion. I have with me someone who runs one of the most prominent jewelry shops in Kolkata, but I'd like to ask you, sir, very quickly, this time you have a long time for, usually the muhurat is smaller, this time you have a longer time.
Yeah, we do. It is, I think, spilling over 2 days, and more importantly, the finest of the muhurats are in the night. So that's the time when people are free from everything else. They go to the store and buy everything. So yeah, it's the muhurat at the right time, I would say.
And as someone in the jewelry business, you must be happy to see the crowd.
Oh, definitely. It is good to see after a very long dull period. This is picking up. I think all the industries, not only us.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I'll just come back to you in a while. Ma'am, Dhanteras, an auspicious occasion to buy jewelry, and obviously for everyone who visits a jewelry shop, it's a exciting day.
I don't think so. Women need any exciting day or Dhanteras as in to buy jewelry. You know what? The rates have really gone up, but still I see a lot of crowd in the shop. It doesn't matter for females. They buy throughout the year.
But auspicious occasion?
Yes, of course, but I'm just generally saying females, they love jewelry so much that they do not need auspicious. But you can see the crowd. You know, we always come up with a theory saying the gold rates have gone up. But see, it doesn't matter. Just not.
Absolutely, and happy shopping to you.
Thank you so much.
Happy Dhanteras.
Same to you. Thank you.
And now a report from Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh, which is preparing for the grand Diwali celebrations where more than 21 lakh diyas will be lit, making it a Guinness World Record. NDTV's Tanish Punjabi has filed this report on Ayodhya and how it's preparing for this grand celebration.
With just months to go for the Ram Mandir inauguration, this year's Diwali celebrations in Ayodhya are bound to be special. From Lata Mangeshkar Chowk to Ram Ki Pedi, beautification work has been done. Ayodhya is aiming for a world record this time, with 25,000 volunteers placing 21 lakh diyas across 50 ghats.
बहुत ज्यादा खुशी है, बहुत खुशी है हम लोग को।
अच्छा, तो आप लोग कितने टाइम से काम कर रहे हैं?
हम लोग तो 8 तारीख से
8 तारीख से लगे। टोटल जो वॉलंटियर है उनकी संख्या 25,000 प्लस है और हमारे घाट नंबर 12 की जो स्ट्रेंथ है वो लगभग मैं 1,10,000 प्लस दिए बिछवाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ।
The grand spectacle will also have light and sound shows.
सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है कि जब हम साइमल्टेनियसली जब ये कार्यक्रम हो रहा है, लगभग 24 स्क्रीन हम अलग अलग शहर के अलग अलग जगहों पे हम इसको लगा रहे हैं कि लोग कार्यक्रम को देख पाए वहां से।
Apart from Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, his cabinet and the UP governor, the city will also host foreign delegates from 61 countries.
सरयू के तट पर स्थित ये भगवान श्री राम की भव्य नगरी अयोध्या, आज कह सकते हैं जो हमारे विश्वविद्यालय जो कार्यक्रम या उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार करा रही है वो उसको देख करके ये हमें अनुभव प्रतीत हो रहा है। ये हमारा 7वां भव्य दीपोत्सव है, हम लोग 7वें भव्य दीपोत्सव का साक्षी हैं।
The preparations and the celebrations will not end just with Deepotsav. The city which is going to make a world record will continue to be in the spotlight as the Grand Ram Mandir inauguration is just months away. With camera person Rajesh Gupta, Pramod Srivastava and Tanish Punjabi for NDTV.
And with that, it's a wrap from me. Thanks so much for watching. News updates continue on NDTV. Stay with us.